Hello and welcome, guys. We are here at UFC 294. Main event is Chimaev, not Hamza Chimaev, Islam Makhachev versus Alex Volkanovski. I am absolutely pumped for this fight, but it's nice and early here, and I have a great new empathy for not new, but it's a great empathy for my UK friends because getting up super early for these cards is not fun. So it's 5 a.m. here in Sydney, Australia. Well, it's actually a little bit south of Sydney. And I just watched a couple. Well, I watched a couple of fights now before I went live, and it looks like a promising start. I just watched the Makhachev fight, not all of it, but I watched most of it, and I saw the Magomedov versus Bruno Silva fight. And Magomedov was an interesting debut. Like, he showed brilliant parts of his game, and then he showed some really clear areas that he needs to improve on, which you don't have to be a genius to work out. So it's Joseph says, how about the DOC coach? What do you mean the DOC? I don't know what DOC stands for, Joseph. But yeah, no, I was just really I was just really impressed by Magomedov striking. I was impressed by how tough Bruno Silva was, but how easily he got taken down, and how, more importantly, not just taken down but held down. That is surprising to me. You know what I mean? Especially being Dagestani. So that's the silver lining in that is that it's a very clear thing that he has to work on, right? It's a very clear kind of stuff that he has to work on as far as takedown defense and getting back to his feet. Having said that, he did a lot of damage from his back that you don't often see. Like, he did a lot of damage from his back. Let me see what we got here. I did not see this. I did not see what happened with the doctor. Please tell me. I did not see it. I'm sure I'm going to see it at some point, but I didn't see it. I haven't seen it as of yet, but I will see it at some point. Maybe I can. No, I didn't get a chance to see it. I'm watching the aftermath of that now. And just see the dudes on the ground. So fucking bad. The Victor Henry guy. I just rewound the tape. I'm not laughing at him because I could only imagine the fucking pain he get kicked in the nuts. Joseph says, for your mental health coach, I would just not mention it. It's like Mario Yamasaki with an M. Man, this guy, it looks like he's dying. I'm just watching this guy on the ground. He got hit. It looks like he got shot in the head. The way he went down. Oh, poor guy, man. I'm just watching the replay. It looks like somebody shot him, and he dropped to his knees. It looked like they had a sniper up in the crowd. This dude's gone. Jesus. Brad Galea says, good morning to you, sir. Are you a betting man? I am not. I bet $250 on Islam just to soften the blow in case Volkanovski doesn't get it done, but I'd happily pay for $250 for Volk to win. And yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't know that I'd put $250 on Islam. I think Islam, how do I say this? For me, that fight is not a good fight to bet on, because I think that that Islam should be the favorite is the favorite, but I think there's too many ways for Volkanovski to win. Like Volkanovski has clear ways to win this. Like at least using the sample size that we have at this point, and that's 5 rounds in that last fight, and in all of those 5 rounds, Volkanovski showed that he could hang with Islam at that point. Doesn't mean that he will this time, or maybe he knocks him out. I don't know. But I'm just talking completely from betting perspective. I wouldn't bet $250 on Islam. But if I was to bet, I would bet on the lightest women's divisions I can. And I would bet that they either go to a decision, or if I know one fighter is way better than the other one, I would bet on that one because there's less chance of getting hit and just getting knocked out, So I think that. Wow, he said verbatim, the doctor said, you didn't get hit in the balls. Fuck, that looks like he got hit in the balls, man. Like the dude looked like he got shot in the head the way he dropped to his knees. Joseph says, whatever happens, huge respect for Volkan Chimaev for saving the card. Absolutely. And also massive credit to Islam and Khamzat for taking their fights, their respective fights. It's like either one of them could well have said no to that as well, you know what I mean? So huge respect for that, because everyone says, oh, no, I would take it, or I would do this, or I would do that, but there's a million reasons why it looks to me like that dude got hit in the groin so bad, and the doctor talking him out of it, going, nah, you didn't. What time is it? It's 5 a.m. It's 5 a.m. It's not that it's that early for me, to be honest with you. I don't feel that bad. I have to get up at 4:30 or something. But the thing that I'm worried about is if my kids wake up, then my wife has to wake up, and then we have problems at this time of the morning. Man, this guy, I'm not laughing at the guy, man. My heart goes out to this dude, but geez, oh my God. Like the way he dropped to his knees, like, this guy got hit so bad. Joseph says, damn, good morning, coach, all for the love of the sport. Yeah, man, nah, I don't mind. Like, I don't mind getting up early anyways, but it's hard with little kids, that's the only thing. It is hard with little kids. I don't know how, like, man, that was so brutal, that kick to the nuts. It was. I'm just going to the main event. But yeah, no, you don't. Oh my God, the guy dropped to his knees, like, the guy looked like he got shot, like somebody sniped at him. No, and going back to what I was saying about Magomedov, Mark says boring. Joseph says, if I was that doctor, you think a fighter would sacrifice his pay for his fight to be a no contest? I think, you do the Hippocratic oath as a doctor, and I think that you have to err on the side of safety. I honestly think that, you know what I mean? It bewilders me that as a doctor, you wouldn't err on the side of safety, and you would make an assumption. And I don't know that this happened because I haven't got volume here to hear it, but I'm going to assume that the guy's telling him, no, you're right to go, when you got kicked in the balls, like, and pretty obviously, like, you'd have to err on the side of safety and be like, no, well, I can't send this guy back out there to get, whatever irreparable damage could occur from getting hit by a professional fighter like that. Like, I don't see how you can make that kind of case if you're a doctor, like, you have to err on the side of safety, in my opinion. But poor guy, man. Now, what I was saying with Magomedov was, like, I'm impressed. I was really impressed with a lot of aspects of his striking, but there were a lot of things to work on, and I don't like the way that he got moved back towards the cage, and then obviously you have to do that with a kicker. You have to kick with a kicker and try and pressure them, move them backwards. And he had weapons with which to answer, but still, like there were things there that obviously he being taken down, being held down. These things aren't good. Even though he did a lot of damage from his back, it's great, but you're giving up a lot of position. Gaddafi's Undor, how are you, my friend? You still don't want to be in those positions, So it's going to be interesting because now I think everyone in that division is looking at him going, yeah, you are a dangerous striker. He kicks real hard, real fast, and with no toe. So that's impressive, But on the flip side of that also tells people, please take me down because you don't want to stay at this distance getting kicked. And he looked like relatively easy to take down in that division, Bruno Silva himself is more of a striker. He's not really, a grappler, so to speak. Like, I think he's a black belt, but still, it's not his thing. His jam is striking, brawling, And in fairness, there he was completely outclassed by Sharputin. Like Sharputin really, really impressed me when he could get his game off. When he could just strike like that, it was really, really impressive. Having said that, there are guys in that division that are not even at the upper echelons of that division. There are some good grapplers in that division that are going to mitigate that striking, that unless he can address it. Gaddafi says, yeah, good brother. I hope all is well. Come on, Volk. Come on, Volk. Indeed, ladies and gentlemen. Come on, Volk. Indeed. Now, I hope Volkanovski gets it done. It's I just have a feeling he's going to get it done, but I could be me, I mean, because I'm just biased, obviously, and I just have a if I break it down, unbiased, then yeah, Islam is the favorite, but I just have a feeling Volks will get it done. Like, I think sometimes this is just me. I think not think. I do think Islam won the last fight. I mean, he obviously did. That was a decision, but aside from that, I think it was a well-deserved decision. I don't think Volkanovski won it, but I just have a feeling that Volkanovski will do it. I don't know why. I just see him cracking him. You know what I mean? But it could be just because I am biased. So I give that disclaimer. The fight, Hamzat and Usman, I do think it's one of those changing of the guard moments, that's going to be a very, very clear changing of the guard. And it's interesting, even though Sharaputdin, like I said, in my opinion, he had a very clear, I don't know how coachable the guy is, as far as telling him, dude, I think, you need to work on certain things. I don't know. Coach, Joseph says, Coach, did you hear about the apparent injury Kamaru sustained while he was doing the open workout? Yeah, look, I saw that, and I saw what people talk about it, and I saw people I saw the thing where he said it popped, or he didn't say it popped, whatever, however, which way you want to hear it, but we all know Kamaru has bad knees. I have bad knees. I've had really bad knees my whole life. And so things like that, like my knee will pop out or pop or just fuck up at different times. And it's not like if it's not an acute trauma injury, it's not like his knee was fine and then his knee popped at training and now he's fucked. If you already got bad knees, like those pops and cracks and stuff that happen, unfortunately, is not going to be that new to you. So that could happen. It could have if he's already got bad knees, something could have easily happened where he's like, fuck, hurt my knee. But it's something you've been dealing with always. It's not what you want to happen. It's not what you want to happen, but it is what happened. You know what I mean? And I think that's not really indicative of anything because he's got chronically bad knees. So it's not new. It's not an acute injury due to trauma that happened at that open workout. I don't think so. I don't think it's anything new for Usman. I think he's not going to say what I just said. You know what I mean? He's going to say, "No, I'm good. Nothing happened." You know, you're not going to go, "No, please tug at my knees." Even more so, it's just what it is. But I do think there'll be a changing of the guard. That's my honest opinion with that. I'm really looking forward to Aliskerov versus Alves. I think Ikram will be a little bit much. And these two monsters, Ankalaev and Johnny Walker, is going to be very, very interesting. One of the things with Johnny Walker that's really crazy is he's a very, very, very big guy. Like, he's a legit big dude. Like, bigger than I. Every time I see him, he's bigger than what I think he is. You know, every time I see him, like, Ankalaev is not small. You know, Ankalaev is not a small guy, and he makes Ankalaev look a lot smaller than than that. I can't believe. No, this is not a knock on Paul Craig, but that's Ankalaev's only loss is Paul Craig by submission, triangle choke. Then he's got a draw against Jan Blachowicz. That's credit to Paul Craig. Good for him, you know. But it's just interesting that that's the only loss, and he's got some names in there, you know, that he beat, like Thiago Santos, Anthony Smith, Blachowicz, Ion Kutalaba, twice, Krylov, Ozdemir. You know, he's got some really interesting guys that he beat, and that's his only loss. You know, so it's just a interesting guy. Like when I see Johnny Walker though next to him, Johnny Walker's a bit more feast and famine, I think. But when I see him next to him, it really surprises me how big that guy is. You know. And it just shows you sometimes, like, I think that sometimes it's good to go up in weight, but there's guys that, like, they lose that if you're fast, I think if you're fast and you have to cut a lot of weight and that's affecting you, then I think you'll do well at the next division up. But if not, I think there's a difference just in the actual size of some of these guys. Like, he's 6'5", dude. Cuts down to 93 kilos. That's a big dude. There's not a lot of middleweights that size. Joseph says predictions on the main coach. I think Hamza beats Usman, and I think that I think Volkanovski catches Islam early, or Islam wins a decision. I think these are the two things that could happen. I don't know why I think this. I don't know why, but I just got this feeling that Volkanovski will probably catch him. I can't go against Volkanovski, dude. I know him, and I know that I'm biased, so it's probably clouding my judgment, and so I have to give that caveat when I'm talking about the fight. I'm never going to bet against or go against someone I know or that I've worked with, or like Volkanovski's hard for me to be unbiased about. Like, I've seen him since he was a little kid at wrestling tournaments and that, and you know, I've always, like, I messaged Joe just before, you know, wishing him luck and that. So yeah, I can't go against Volkanovski, and I genuinely believe that he has clear paths to victory. I genuinely believe that, and so I can't go really past that. So I'm not going to be able to give a really good, unbiased opinion on that. So I'm going to go with Volkanovski. I do think that Islam is Islam, and I think that he has clear paths to victory. And yeah, but I just see Volkanovski not having the same, like, the first time Volkanovski didn't have to put his belt on the line. The first time he didn't, but you're fighting at home, and that creates a different pressure, you know. In this fight, man, he took the fight on 11 days notice or whatever it was. Stood up, doesn't have to put his belt on the line, doesn't have to, you know, just had surgery. All these things that, whilst they're not advantages, but they do take the pressure off. And they definitely take the pressure off. And he's got like a lot of experience as a fighter. Like he's very, very experienced. He's been around for such a long time. He's fit. He's always fit. He's a very hard worker. And so this is probably, at this stage in his career, probably a good thing that he doesn't have a long training camp, and doesn't get injured and doesn't get hurt from that training camp. Because it's not like he doesn't have fight experience. It's not like he doesn't know what he's getting into. It's not like he doesn't have 5-round fight experience. He's got all of those things. So he understands he completely understands what he's getting into. And then my picks in general for the card are Said Nurmagomedov. I'm picking him in this fight now that's about to happen, even though he's coming off a loss to Jonathan Martinez. But I still think that he's going to get this done. I do think Nurmagomedov will get it done. I think Aliskerov will be a bit much. I'm going to go with Ankalaev. I think Johnny Walker's massive, and but Ankalaev's a little bit tidier. So I'm going to go with Ankalaev. I'm going to go with Khamzat. And like I said, I'm going to go with Volkanovski, but I do think Islam has very clear-cut paths. Do not listen to me on the Volkanovski and Islam picks now, today, with the emotions. If you want to quickly look at our Lies, Dirty Lies, and Statistics, where we break down Islam versus Volkanovski, that's a different story. But right now, gun to my head, I'm not going to be unbiased. I'm going to be biased. And I picked Nurmagomedov in this one. Yeah, obviously he's not quite the monster that his namesake is, but he's still a very, very, very good fighter. And Jonathan Martinez is very good, and Barcelos, that he lost to, is very good. Like, especially he fought him like a few years ago, and that was before Barcelos kind of aged. He's 36 years old now. But man, I saw Barcelos in 2009 in Brazil at the trials for ADCC, and man, he was so good. He lost to Mendes in the final, but man, he was so good. And he was only a kid, he was only a kid, and he was such a good grappler, man. Such a good grappler. I really, really enjoyed watching his style of grappling. And he was just a young guy, and he was just fucking phenomenal. So I've always had like a thing, like I've always followed his career, and I've just always thought he was just a phenomenal, phenomenal grappler. We're about to start, guys. We are about to kick off. Both guys go into the middle. They touch gloves. It is 454 of the first round, 452 of the first round, 451. Said Nurmagomedov goes looking for a left high kick. Both guys in the orthodox stance. Gafarov is controlling the center of the octagon. He seems to be much smaller like this when you look at him in the octagon, like much, much smaller than Magomedov. And Magomedov keeps looking for that left high kick, which helps to keep that right hand at home. Oh, nice calf kick by Magomedov. Gafarov is still nice. Front kick by Magomedov to the closed side of Gafarov. Gafarov controlling the center of the octagon, moving Nurmagomedov along the periphery of the octagon. Magomedov switches to southpaw momentarily. Big right hand by Gafarov. Gafarov is really going for this takedown, but it's a deep, high elbow guillotine here. Looks like a ninja choke by Nurmagomedov. It's in deep, and that's a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. What a fucking choke. Wow. Nurmagomedov says, I am here, ladies and gentlemen. That was impressive. That was really, really, really impressive. I didn't have him winning like that. Wow. Gafarov is really upset. Man, that was good work. That was really, really, really good work by Magomedov. It was really deep. It was a front choke, really, really nice choke. I was just talking about this to one of the boys actually recently. We were watching that, but it's a really good choke. And the way he sunk those hips down, that's something that a lot of people don't really understand when they're trying to do a lot of these front sort of chokes. Like people try and lift, whereas if you sink your belly, bring the back of their head into your belly and push forward, sink into them, and then cinch up, it gets super tight. You know what I mean? That was a really, really impressive choke. I don't know what the discussion is here. But yeah, no, it was really good. Maybe the doctor's going to run back out and make him continue. Poor guy, I feel for him, like the Gafarov dude. But, great performance by Magomedov. Oh, Joseph, I see what you did there. Yes, he's definitely a problem for the division. No, he's a very, very good fighter, very good fighter, good submission. It should have earned him 50 grand, I think. You know what I mean? Somehow, somewhere, that's going to be hard to beat. But who knows? We've got some crazy dudes in the next 4 fights. I'm really, really pumped to see these next 4. This is. I actually am really pumped because this is going to be a good card. We're off like a good main card. Because now we've got Aliskerov next versus Wally Alves. And it's this interesting fight. I don't see Alves being able to beat him. I think he's going to come out with serious heat. But I do, man, Aliskerov's good, man. I'm actually glad that he and Chimaev didn't fight each other. Because, like I said, I don't want to see a lot of these contenders kind of kill each other off. I want to see them fight up the card. Especially, like, I don't want to see like musical chairs just go around like 3, 4, 5 guys in that division. I think that there's guys like Chimaev, like Aliskerov, like maybe Sharaputtin if he can fix a few things. Definitely Bo Nickel. There are some guys there, that I'd like to see them fight into that upper echelon, rather than just see them these guys fight each other, and then the top, say, 3 or 4 at middleweight fight each other. So I'm really glad that Usman is in the mix now. I hope he stays at middleweight. I hope that, obviously, Hamza, I think there's no discussion whether Hamza will or not. I think he definitely will. So that I prefer that. Now, Joseph. Now. He said Mike Bell scored that 10-8 for Gafarov. Lean McHungry says Makhachev's takedowns and subs will be even sharper this time. Yeah, I mean, you'd have to assume that he's going to be more comfortable. He's going to be fuller. He's going to be, you have to assume this, right? But I don't know. I don't know how this is going to play out. I don't know how the fight's going to play out. I do see Volkanovski coming out and throwing bombs, because Volkanovski is going to come in, like, irrespective of whether this is true or not, like, about Islam's rehydration. And like I said, let's play devil's advocate. Let's say that it is. None of that's going to matter to Volkanovski. Volkanovski's going to come in with a great confidence, knowing that he was able to stop the takedowns a lot. Not all of them, but a lot of them. And he was able to bully him at times, and that he was able to land some big shots. I think Volkanovski is going to come in with a lot more confidence in that and a lot less pressure. And this combination, I think, is very difficult to deal with. So whilst that is probably true, I don't think it's going to affect Volkanovski's confidence And in saying that, it won't affect the way that Volkanovski comes out. I think Volkanovski is going to come out more aggressive and beeline towards like Makhachev. Now, can Makhachev counter him? Can Makhachev take him down? Can Makhachev do that? Of course he can. Of course he can do all of those things. It's just going to be who gets their game off first. And I think this is going to be one of those very telling, like those first 5, 6, 7 minutes of this fight. It's going to be very, very telling as to what direction this fight's going to go in. If Volkanovski starts to land and gets him out of there, then obviously that speaks for itself. If Islam is able to get him down early, that's only going to be helpful towards Islam, isn't it? And or counter him. I don't know. I'm interested to see how they're going to look, how Islam's going to look. I do think, and I'm interested to see how Volkanovski's going to look, and I'm interested to see if Islam's going to be able to hurt Volkanovski enough and keep that right hand of Volkanovski's at bay, keep him from being able to blitz in the early stages of the round, and then have to close the distance himself, So it's interesting, man. It's an interesting thing because also Volkanovski coming in leaves himself open to counters and open to takedowns from what's his name? Makhachev. So it's interesting. I mean, we can talk about it all day, but I really just want to see it. But this is one of the fights that I'm really actually interested in, is the Wally Alves versus Aliskerov fight. Yeah. And they're showing it on the screen. He's had a win over Colby Covington, but it's I'm really interested to see how he goes against Aliskerov. I think Aliskerov, I really rate Aliskerov, by the way. Like I really, really do. I think, Wally Alves is coming off a couple of losses. I don't really see, like, he's got losses to guys that are not anywhere near Aliskerov, in my opinion. So, yeah. Let's see. Let's see what happens. Jamie C says, I'm struggling getting up at this time. How do the UK fans do it every week? It's crazy to me. I don't think I'd get up every week to watch it, man. I don't think I would get up at 4 a.m. or something to watch a fight. So unless I personally know someone or something like this, or because in Australia we have like the main card can start anywhere between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. or something like this. Like generally they start at midday. So, but sometimes it starts at 10, sometimes it starts a bit later, sometimes, it starts at midday. And the midday cards are pretty good. The 10 a.m. cards are even better because you don't have to give up your whole day to the devil and you can just still go about your day doing what you do. Gaddafi says, yeah, that would suck being a fan from the UK. Rick James says, morning Fab, can you please sync us up at the start of the fight? Let's go. I will definitely do that, mate. I will count it down. I tried to do that in that other fight. Harry DeLuca asked me to do that, so I mess around with Harry. Here he comes. Wally Alves is walking out. He looks pumped and determined. One thing I do like about there's such a juxtaposition as to who like Volkanovski and Islam are, like in every sense. They're both seem like really good guys as well. That's why I'm always been a fan of Islam. I'm a huge fan of Islam. It's obviously he's fighting Alex, and I'm going for Alex, but I've always liked Islam. I've always gone for Islam, but they're just funny. Like Volkanovski's short and he's like really emotional and really like, let's go, let's do it. They're coming out here. Yeah, like this. And Islam is like, and he's really calm and nothing bothers him. Like he's a methodical, stoic kind of guy. and he's taller, and it's just a funny thing. Bakhada says whole time. Can you explain what that means, Bakhada? I'm not sure. You wrote in Arabic. Still doesn't help me, but tell me what you mean. Salam alaikum to you and any of the people watching from the Middle East. Wally Alves is now in the octagon, ladies and gentlemen. He walking around the octagon. This is gonna. I'm really glad that the fight with Imavov didn't happen. To be honest with you, I'm very happy about it. So Wally Alves is 32 years old. It's a big opportunity for him, man. If he can put Ikram away, man, great opportunity for him. Ikram's only 30 years old. He's very, very impressive, man. Very, very impressive. Like World Championships 2016 at Sofia, minus 90 kilograms. World Championships 2012, minus 82 kilograms. These are all gold medals, by the way. World Cup 2014 Moscow, under 82 kilos. Gold medal 2016, under 90 kilos. European Championships 2017 in Minsk, under 82 kilograms. European Championships 2012, cannot pronounce that, under 82 kilograms. Russian Sambo Championships 2013, minus 82 kilograms. These are all golds. Everything was gold. And silver medalist in 2017 at the Russian Sambo Championships, under 82 kilograms. So, man, very, very, very impressive. The fight against Hamzat was impressive in itself. There are some, like, against Dennis Tuliulin, he didn't have the greatest of performances, but he was still all over him. And same as against Nashon Burrell. I thought he would finish Nashon Burrell. Nashon Burrell is a very seasoned competitor, mind you. Nothing against him, but I thought that he would get the finish. But he was all over him as well. Like, you can't deny that either. So I'm actually a big fan of Ikram Aliskerov. I really like the way he fights. And he's still relatively young. And so he's got a 76-inch reach against Wally Alves' 72-inch reach. He's an interesting cat, man. He's a very, very interesting fighter. And I think that he's still young enough to develop in the UFC. He's still can hit. Like in 2 years, he can have quite a few fights that will help him develop into his peak. That 31, 32 years old kind of peak, 33. I think around there, you'll probably see that. And so he hasn't had. I do think he's going to be able to, get into the rhythm of the UFC and understand and feel like be able to take all that combat sambo experience, and he's also got a lot of pro fighting experience already. So it's interesting, man. I think that he's a very interesting fighter. One of the things that with Phil Hawes, right? Phil Hawes is chinny, and he is a feast or famine fighter. But one of the things that really impressed me with Ikram in that fight, when I was watching him with Phil Hawes, was just his ability to slide in and out of distance. Because he doesn't appear to be the fastest guy, and he doesn't appear to have the tidiest striking, but he was very technical and methodical with his ability to slide in and out of distance against Phil Hawes. He really surprised me with that. And they're about to start the boys' touch gloves. And we have 4:57 of the first round, 55 of the first round, 53, 52, 51, 50, 49. Both guys in the orthodox stance. Ikram looks significantly bigger than Wally Alves. He's controlling the center of the octagon. Wally Alves looks for a stomp to the knee. Ikram with a nice teep. That's exactly what I was talking about. Just like his striking doesn't look like it's good, but then you see him fight, and it's actually very good, man. He's no fucking joke. Just the way he threw that teep out, and his stance. Oh, he got hit with an inside leg kick by Alves. Nice little jab on the retreat by Ikram. Inside leg kick by Wally Alves. Nice work. Jab by Ikram, and he slides out of the way. Alves is pressuring forward. He's being very aggressive. I think it's going to be a very tough 3-4 minutes. I think Alves is going to bring a lot of heat in these first initial exchanges. Ikram goes with a 1-2. Then a nice teep again by Aliskerov. Oh, right hand and a left by Aliskerov as Wally Alves comes. Nice teep, 2 teeps by Aliskerov. Inside leg kick by Wally Alves, partially checked by Aliskerov, and then another answers with yet another teep. He is significantly bigger than Wally Alves. They exchange, and big right hand by Aliskerov. Oh, drops him with a jab. He drops him with a jab. I don't want to wake up my kids, but he drops him with a jab. High kick by Aliskerov. Flying knee by Aliskerov. Aliskerov hitting him with combination after combination against the wall. He drops Alves, and that is the fight, ladies and gentlemen. What a monster. I'm telling you, this guy, like, he didn't have KOs until he got in the UFC. Granted, Wally Alves, no disrespect to him. Granted, he's not a top 10 middleweight. He's not a top 15 middleweight. He's a welterweight that took a fight on short notice. But still, in the way that Ikram puts his punches and his kicks together is very impressive. Like, he actually does impress me with just his striking. Like I said, when you look at his other fights, even outside of the UFC, he didn't have stoppages by strikes. Here he hit him with a flying switch knee, and did all sorts of damage to Wally Alves. Then a left high kick. Like, his vocabulary of strikes is good, and his ability and his distance control and management is good. It's very good. And another thing with him is he's heavy-handed, and you can tell he's heavy-handed. I thought he was going to backflip then. I would have been really impressed. But no, you can tell that he's heavy-handed. When you've got the grappling credentials that someone like this does, and you're that heavy-handed as well, and he's got a very good vocabulary of strikes, man. He's no fucking joke. He's no joke. It's going to be interesting to see what he does. It's going to be very, very, very interesting. And I think these were the right fights for him to have. Like Wally Alves and Phil Hawes were really good fights to have, much better than the Imavov fight. Imavov would be a better fight, don't get me wrong. And as a fight fan, I think I would have rather seen him fight Imavov, just as a fight fan, a UFC fan. But if I was his coach, I would have rather these two fights. Like Phil Hawes' legitimate test, and Wally Alves allows you to see him against someone that's smaller. Like, it's a good fight, man. It's a good fight for him from his coaches, and for him to be able to develop and use different skills. I want to see who they're going to match him up with next. I'm really interested. That's 2 stoppages, man. Interesting. He never had stoppages before that. He had stoppages from submissions and from ground and pound and that, but he never had them like one punch, bang, knock you out. And now he's got 2 like fights like that. So impressive. Oliver Ekman says, I have arrived. What time is it for you, Fab? It's 5 a.m., dude. Oh, now it's 5:42. It's almost 6. But, man, that was good. That was really good. Wow. He hit him with everything, dude. that left high kick, like that was partially blocked, but then that just kind of opened up down the middle. This is very smart, this guy, man. He's very, very smart the way he does it. He kind of looks plotting, but I think it's more to do just with the way his build is and the way his shoulders are and that. Like it's he doesn't look like he's fast. He doesn't look like he's dynamic, but he does. Yeah. He says, what time is it? Yeah, I told you the time. Thank you, Oliver Ekman. He says, you are dedicated. What time do your kids normally get up? My kids will get up. Depends. My middle child will wake up whenever she feels like it and call out to me, and she's too little to like stay in bed. So I have to go and get her and blah, blah, blah. And so she could be up at any time. Now she could be up at any time. And that's going to be a problem because my wife is sleeping. And then if the middle one wakes up, the other two will wake up. And then the oldest will wake up. And then my wife's going to have to get out of bed. And then my wife's going to be angry at the world the rest of the day. She's not a morning person. Out of the two of us, I'm definitely the morning person. To be honest with you, like getting up at 4:30 is a bit of a stretch. I don't like getting up that early, but if I could, I'd be just 6 a.m. is a good time to get up for me. I don't mind getting up at 6 or 6:30 like this. This is not a bad time to get up. I'm not a morning person, but I'm definitely not one of those guys that gets up at like 4 a.m. and goes for a surf or something. I'm not one of those people. Not at all. I think Johnny Walker's going to come out with huge ferocity, bunch of crazy kicks and punches and all of that. But I think that Ankalaev is just a little bit neater. Oliver Ekman says, tell the wife she's got to take one for the team today. Volk's fighting. I'll let her know. The reality filter says, you're burning the midnight oil, coach. Past midnight, way past it. But yeah, I had to get up. I had to get up in the still of the night, mate. I had to get up in the still of the night. Like I said, I have empathy for those guys in the UK, especially like dudes like MMA Guru. Sometimes you see him and it's like he's been awake for like 48 hours or something. Like it's insane because he does the whole card, like the whole card, and he's had to wake up at some ridiculous, godless hour, and then does like reactions for hours later, and he's making videos and all of it, and he does a really good job, man. So credit to him. So legit credit to him. Good on him. And he's reaping the rewards of that, and I'm glad to see. Like, I like seeing just people have other type of content out there than just like one form of content, in regards to the fight world. And people, it's good to have different types of opinions and whatnot. The reality filter says MMA Guru lives in the UK but lives his life on US time. Yeah, he does. He must, and so I'm glad that I hope that his channel's making him lots of money or enough money to live off, because the amount of content he puts out there, it'd be hard to do at the beginning. You know what I mean? It'd be really hard to do at the beginning. You don't get anything. Oliver Ekman says, is an MMA Guru actually in a wheelchair? I don't know him personally, so I don't know. I don't think so. Is he? I don't know. Ikram looked good, man. Just the way he was kicking, very little tell, just bang, bang, bang. That was really good. Heavy hands too, man. Really, really, really heavy hands. That's one of the things that impressed me the most, is just like how he was throwing the teeps with little toe, This guy's very good grappler, man. He's a very good grappler, and to have that kind of because not many people, like if you see the fight with Hamza couldn't take him down, and that was at welterweight, And I don't think at welterweight for Ikram is not it's not his weight, you know what I mean? Like when you see even his Sambo things, nothing was under 82 kilograms. He doesn't fight at welterweight, and so it's very hard, man. When he fought Hamza, he cut a lot of weight. It wasn't at welterweight; it was at 180 pounds, but still, 80. Like he looks like he's a big dude. You know what I mean? He's competed and won world championships at 90 kilograms in combat sambo. So that's another thing. I think he is deceptively big. Like he's like a bigger guy than what you think he is once you're in there, because you see him against Phil Hawes and you see him against Alves. Like Alves a welterweight, of course, but still he's like deceptively big. Like he's a big guy. So, and Chimaev couldn't take him down. So I think it's going to be very difficult for and just about anyone else to take him down. Oliver Ackerman says, how did Shara Magomedov do? He did well at what he did, you know, which was to stay at distance and land kicks. He's very, very fast with his kicks. You can't really see the kicks coming. Man, he's able to kick from any stance. He does a lot of damage with not much wind up and without much tell. But there were things that he did that are going to be a problem. Like he got taken down, and he got taken down with relative ease, and he didn't get back up when he was on the bottom. Having said that, he was able to damage Bruno Silva from his back. Bruno Silva, no disrespect to him, is a guy with a good chin that likes to bang it out. You know what I mean? We'll trade with you. That's not going to be enough to get you past some of the better grapplers in that division. And I'm not talking about Bo Nickel or Hamzat or anybody like that. I'm just talking about guys that are decent grapplers, man, that are good grapplers that are going to definitely look at that fight and go, fuck, I'm not standing at the kicking distance and getting kicked by this monster. Because if you stand at distance with Magomedov like that, he's going to kick the shit out of you. He's going to kick you bad. Oliver Ekman says, so is he able to fight with his eye? He had no problems as far as that was concerned. It was just getting taken down. That was an issue. You know, he got taken down with relative ease, and he got held down with relative ease. And even then, he didn't get up, and he got his guard passed as well by Silva. I mean, he got back to his feet, etc. But still, like there were things that you look at there, and but in fairness to him, he's youngish, and they're very clear things he has to work on. So if he's able to work on those things, he's going to be very, very, very dangerous. You know, very big problem if he's able to really work on his takedown defense, and he's able to work on his ability to get back to his feet. He's going to be a big problem, because even with his kicking, he's kicking you at a range where you really have to close this distance to be able to get there. The reality filter says Silva's a BJJ guy, not a wrestler. I wouldn't even call him a BJJ guy, dude. I'd say he's more of a kind of brawler striker guy. That's more his thing. So if you get taken down by a good BJJ guy, is going to be a problem for Sharapoutin, and it's going to be a problem if he faces a good wrestler that can take him down easily. God forbid he faces somebody that's both. So that's going to be a problem for him. This is legitimately going to be a problem. Having said that, man, he strikes. The other thing that surprised me with Magomedov, you know, which was actually very interesting, again, was the size. Like I didn't think. I thought maybe he wouldn't be a true middleweight, like in size wise. And then when I saw him against Bruno Silva, he's definitely a true middleweight. Like he's a big guy, you know. So he's got all the attributes to make big waves in the division, but he's also got glaring holes in his game that are relatively easy to fix if he's willing to put in the work and he's willing to, do like a critical review of his performance and not just go, yeah, fuck, I'll do what I want. Oliver Ekman says Silva does have a good chin. Alex P couldn't put him away in 3 rounds. Yeah, but he bashed him, Oliver. He really bashed him. Like Pereira bashed him. It would have been better for him if watching Johnny Walker dance. He's a proper character, eh? No, it's he bashed him bad. Like that was a bad beating that he took. Like I think that he took more beatings than he needed. He took more shots than he needed to. So yeah, I think Silva has. Like you're not going to see Silva contend for a title. Reality filter. He's taken like a lot of damage. Early. Like he's 34 years old, and in his prime really was when he took the massive beating off Pereira. And that was a bad beating, man. It would have been better if he had just got knocked out early. He took a really bad beating and he was never the same, man. And then this time round, like he took another big beating that's not at 34 years of age. Like it was a beating, don't get me wrong. He fucking 8 head kicks. He took a lot of shots to the legs and to the body, and he got hit to the head a lot. It was a beating. It was like big elbows to the head, like not fun. Oliver Ekman says Charles has bad vision, but his eye isn't looking out. I know Silva took a beating, but pretty much everyone else went to sleep and would have gone to sleep. Yeah, but honestly, going to sleep sometimes is better for you than just taking shot after shot after shot after shot to the head. I don't think he was the same after that fight. I don't think that would have been a lot of fun. Ankalaev is walking out now to the octagon, number 2 ranked light heavyweight. He's doing a little jog out to the octagon, and Johnny Walker's already out there waiting for him. Ankalaev is jogging out there. The reality filter says, is Walker going to surprise us and not fight like a maniac? Well, I think one of the things with Walker is you have a guy that size. He's like 6'5", huge guy, very powerful, very athletic. One of the big things where it is like feast or famine with him, but he can really throw you off with his ability to just, throw different types of kicks and do different unorthodox types of things. These are difficult things to deal with anyone, but in particular with a guy that size. He's not little. He has some good wins. But he has a lot of losses too, So he is a very, very, very much feast or famine type of cat. Oliver Aikman says Maniac might be what he needs, to be honest. Yeah, I think so, because I do think out of the two of them that Ankalaev is much tidier, much more put together, much more reserved, and he's methodical, and he does what he has to do to win. He's another dude that's got like a massive accolade before he even got into the UFC. In as far as like he's a master of sport in combat sambo, he's an international master of sport in amateur MMA. He's very, very highly credentialed. He began training Greco-Roman wrestling for a year while he was a student at the Dagestan State University. He competed in combat sambo there. He's very, 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 very good, what he does. Very tidy, very tidy, knows how to win. So I don't see Johnny Walker beating him outside of catching him with something. I don't see him beating him for 3 rounds. On the stats, it says that Johnny Walker's 6'6". So these are things that, he's got an 82-inch reach versus 75-inch reach. These are the things that are X factors for Johnny Walker, and the fact that he's an extremely powerful guy. huge man. Huge, powerful man. But it is definitely the X factor that he has. Brad Galea says, how are you going to contain yourself from screaming the house down when Alex flatlines Islam? Man, this is one of the things that I'm actually worried about, to be honest with you. Just screaming and carrying on like a fucking banshee, regardless, because even if Islam gets a win, I'm going to react, right? And I want to channel my inner Dagestani and be stoic, but I think there's more chance of me going the other way, regardless. So, yeah. Bruce Buffer screaming at Ankalaev's face. Ankalaev not sure exactly why this little man is screaming in his face. The reality filter says Walker by Travis Brown at elbow. Maybe. We're about to start, ladies and gentlemen. We are about to start. What a treat. Okay, both guys are out, guys. They come out. Ankalaev in the southpaw stands 455, 454, 453, 452, 451. Ankalaev is in the southpaw stance. Johnny Walker in the orthodox stance with an inside leg kick partially checked by Ankalaev. Nice exchange there. Right, like that. Those big exchanges right in there. So dangerous for guys this size, man. Oh, nice inside leg kick by Johnny Walker. These things, when you're seeing like the kicks, these are great kicks. But nice leg kick answered by Ankalaev. It's just above the knee of Johnny Walker, and Johnny Walker felt that himself. And so Ankalaev's doing a fantastic job because he's kicked back with a kicker, and he's also throwing his shin out there and partially checking that kick. People don't understand this as well. Like, you are seeing the kick land, but you only have to check the kick once or twice, and it makes all the difference in the world. Inside leg kick by Ankalaev himself. Johnny Walker looks so much bigger, man. Nice little right check hook lands by Ankalaev. Ankalaev with an inside leg kick of his own on Johnny Walker. Johnny Walker goes looking for that right kick again, that inside kick, but he's not throwing it with the same like fervor and passion that he did earlier in the round. That's why I was saying to you, like, whilst they do land, it's an easier kick to check if you're savvy to it, and Ankalaev is absolutely savvy to it. He's not throwing it with the same steam. There was a second ago when I said like he got partially checked, and he did get partially checked. I think Johnny Walker's going to go looking for a high kick now, a right high kick. I do believe that. He went for the inside leg kick again. Liver, and then he goes switch knee, and then Ankalaev grabs a body lock. And he's on Johnny Walker's back. He's got one hook in. I think he's great positioning by Ankalaev. Ankalaev is with a little bit of ground and pound. I don't know how much it's showmanship because, but it may. He's got Johnny Walker's hand wrapped around his body, and I don't think he's got the angle to get the rear naked choke because Johnny Walker's got his back to the cage. He's doing a good job of defending his Johnny Walker, and if you can see, Ankalaev's head's above Johnny Walker. So when you're here against the cage, the elevation is what matters the most. So whoever's got their head higher is going to win. And Ankalaev is doing a fantastic job of controlling the far side arm and getting his head higher than Johnny Walker, and then sitting down and putting pressure above that knee of Johnny Walker. So Johnny Walker can't get the purchase on the floor to push himself into the cage and move to his right. Ankalaev's doing a fantastic job. And this wears out a big guy like Johnny Walker as well. Ankalaev goes with another knee to the... I thought it was a knee to the body. It must have slid up and hit the chin of Johnny Walker. It was 147 of the first round. So I thought that knee, I can't see clearly. It looks like it hit him in the face, but I don't think he meant to get him in the face. I do think he meant to get him in the body because he clearly walked around and threw it like kind of to the. I don't even know. I don't know if it hit the body and then that just jolted Johnny Walker's. No, it hit his fucking chin. It hit his. It hit his chin flush. I thought maybe it hit his chest, but like that. It hit him as flush as it possibly could on the chin. Oliver Aikman says, "Good luck, Fab. We all seen you watching Sean Strickland beat Izzy. That was crazy, man." Charles says, "What if Walker carefully outpoints Ankalaev with jabs and low kicks for 3 rounds? I'll be impressed, but I don't see him doing that." Oliver Aikman says, "A passionate leg kick." Yes, sir. Blake from the Lake, guys. It's one of the Blake from the Lake, legit one of the best black belts in Australia. In trains with known him for a long, long time. Legit black belt. Oh, something happened just then. I'm not sure what happened. There's all these people breaking them up. I don't understand why they're breaking them up. Are they not going to just let them fight? Like, I don't understand this. Why they're taking a point? It was a bit unclear for me from this perspective. I can't really see what happened. Now they're trying to fight and people are breaking them up. Johnny Walker's like calling out to him to fight. And Ankalaev is angry at the world too. So has this been DQ or what? Dana White's in here as well. It's unclear to me because I can't hear also what's happening, but it's unclear to me what's happened. So then the doctor said something to the referee, and he said, no, he can't continue. Is that what he's saying? And he called it. No, but Johnny Walker, like, I don't think he said he couldn't see or anything. I think that he must have just misunderstood the assignment. I don't know what happened there because it really looked like he didn't know what had happened. Like that, it's such a weird thing. I don't even understand what happened there. And Ankalaev is trying to not trying to look, is just trying to go back to his usual stoic self. I truly don't get what happened. I don't understand what happened. I don't understand it. I'm watching it live. I don't get it. Without hearing from the UFC what happened, I don't get. Or is it a no contest or what? It was a no contest. His reality filter says, I'm trying not to swear, okay, because I think YouTube, might take me down or something. I don't know. I know I do swear, but him and the doctor are talking. He and the doctor are talking, and Johnny Walker's just saying what he's saying. I don't know what he's saying exactly. The doctor went from, no, you didn't get kicked in the groin to you can't fight. And I don't think Johnny Walker understood what he was saying. Because if you watch there, just Johnny, like Brad Galea says, yeah, no contest due to an unintentional knee. But I don't know, did he say he couldn't fight? Like, that's the thing. Like, I didn't hear him say, I can't hear anything, but that was weird, man. That was such a weird one, man. I just didn't even understand how that got done there. Honestly though, Ankalaev was looking really, really good. He was looking really good. And I don't know if, outside of Johnny Walker catching him with something, I don't think he was going to win that fight. I'll be back in 1 second. It was crazy, dude. I didn't see how that was. I think it says the doctor's the reality filter says that doctor's going to get his hands cut off. Brad Galea says DC said it looks like Johnny must have said something to the doctor didn't like. Yeah, who knows what he said to him. Reality filter says what a shambles. I want to see that doctor's betting slips. Man, it was pretty crazy, eh? Like I don't even understand how that happens. You know what I mean? Like what the doctor was thinking. Because I don't know, maybe he did say something to him. In fairness to the doctor, play devil's advocate, maybe he did, you know. But it was just, I don't know. It was weird to me that he did that. Let me see something here. So we've got Chimaev and Usman next. And we'll just talk a little bit about what some of the stats leading into this fight, because it's a very interesting fight. And I'm just going to talk to these comparisons a little bit. And if you just give me a second, I've got some notes. So I'm just going to go over this just really quickly. Chimaev versus Usman. Chimaev has a slightly better overall strike rate. He lands 24 significant strikes per round to Usman's 22 per round. That's neither here nor there. It's very close. But it's just what it is. They also differ in where they land. Chimaev has a higher rate of landing head strikes at 21 strikes per round to Usman's 14. I think that's going to be telling in this fight, because I do think he's going to go out head hunting, and that's going to move Usman backwards. Usman, however, lands 3.5 times as many body strikes as Chimaev. So if you know about Usman's fight style, a lot of the times when he puts you up against that cage, he sags down with an overhook over your left arm when you're trying to pummel in, and that's when he lands huge shots to the spleen. Very, very good at doing that. Chimaev lands most of his strikes on the ground, averaging 13 ground strikes per round and only averaging 10 strikes from distance. Usman lands slightly more strikes from distance with 12 strikes per round, but only half of the ground strikes of Chimaev. Chimaev and Usman land an equal number of takedowns on average per round. Looking at the accuracy of their offensive aspect of their fighting, Chimaev has a higher accuracy compared to Usman across significant strikes, head and leg strikes, noting that he doesn't throw a lot of kicks, landing 58% of his head strikes and 67% of strikes to the body. Usman has a 43% head strike accuracy with 80% accuracy to the body and 87% to the legs. Chimaev has a 57% takedown accuracy compared to Usman's 43%. Does that mean that what does that mean? I don't know. Do you know what I mean? What does that mean? I think that Usman and Chimaev, it's the right time for Chimaev to meet Usman as well, particularly after that Gilbert Burns fight. I think that he would have, again, like different to Magomedov, but in the same way that I think there were clear things he could work on in that fight. And I think that Usman is dangerous, but Usman doesn't offer up the same problems off his back that Gilbert does. And so this is going to be a very interesting and exciting fight. The reality filter says Khamzat's stats have been pumped up by fighting strikers with zero wrestling. McKee and Phillips had a combined record of 1-9 in the UFC. Absolutely. Like he absolutely has, but they're the stats that we have. We don't have any other stats to work off other than the ones that we have. Rick James says Chimaev looks ready to go. And having said that, he has answered every call. You know what I mean? He hasn't. SG. You're right. Chimaev is a lot bigger than Kamaru. Like he looked a lot bigger, in the weigh-ins and all of that. So we're going to see how he looks in the fight, but he definitely looked bigger. Like he looked like the bigger guy in there. So it's going to be interesting to see. Usman's walking out now. He's looking very relaxed. I don't know that he's going to be able to do it, to be honest with you. Charles says, conspiracy theory. The doctor thinks Johnny Walker is an American, and when he heard his Brazilian accent, the doctor thought he was having a stroke. Yeah, I don't know, but I don't know what he said to him. Actually, Wet Sock says, what can Volk do differently in the rematch? It's sometimes it's not what you do differently, dude. It's just how the fight plays out. Like, these guys are throwing knuckles at each other, and if you throw a shot and instead of landing here, it lands there, you'll knock someone out. You know what I mean? And there was plenty of that going around both ways from each of them. Rick James says, Fab, why do people get upset with the doctor when he does his job? When he asked Walker 3 times whether he was where he was and got no answer. I think this is just me. Sometimes you're not really sure what the guy's saying to you or how Johnny Walker is as a person. Like he is fucking pretty out there, So, if that is what happened, then that's fine. You know what I mean? I think the doctor, from my understanding earlier, and I saw the kick in the groin, and I think the doctor said to him like he hadn't been kicked in the groin. You know what I mean? Something like this. So I think that's where that comes from with the doctor. And it's a tough one, man, because the doctor's a guy that's going to wave the fight off. He's going to call the fight off. But in fairness, I think that as fans, we have to have a better understanding of when a fighter takes a knee, right? Say you're not expecting to take a knee in a certain situation, and you take a knee flush. I don't know if that one was the one that did it, but Peter Yan and Sterling one is a very clear one. Like that should be seen as more like, no, you have to accept that somebody got kneed fucking straight in the head. Like that's not, you're going to be okay. Like that's, you have to understand that that's fight ending stuff. Kelvin says, I don't like the hand on the mat rule. Nah, that's I don't like it either. Like, I think it's one of those things where it's a rule that's in place for safety, but it actually causes more problems. Like if people just know, if I have my hand down, I'm going to get kneed. You just know this, and you can work with that. You know what I mean? SG says, I think the knees should be legalized. ONE FC is doing something right. All right, so both these guys, so there's not much. The only big difference is the height from that Hamzat has over Kamaru, and then also the age. The age is a big one, and we're about to start now. So no, it's going to be interesting to see if Hamza can move. Like Hamza looks pumped. It's going to be interesting to see if Hamza can move him back. You know, because that's going to be the problem for Usman. If Usman can establish respect early, or catch him and knock him out, then great. But Hamza's going to be looking to move Usman backwards, and then he's going to shoot, and then he's going to go into what he does, you know. And I wonder if he's going to be able to do this. These are the things, you know. I can say everything I want. I can look at the stats. I can say whatever. But then, like, what's going to happen in a fight is completely different, because once you get hit with something, it can change everything. That's like even in the next fight with the Islam and that. Once you get hit flush, you could get just knocked out there and then. SG says, I think Leon was able to pressure Kamaru for some moments. Yeah, they're very different fighters. So Kamaru Usman walks into the center of the octagon, and Hamzat goes out there as well himself. So it's going to be interesting. Yeah, they're very different fighters. Very, very, very different fighters. So Hamzat's mad, dude. He's fucking mad. He's a madman. Okay, both guys are crouched down looking at each other, and we're off, guys. Usman doesn't want a glove touch. 457, 56, 55, 54, 53, 52, 51, 50, and we're off. Hamzat switching stances, shoots a double. He's in deep on a single leg on Kamaru. Kamaru's defending. He's doing a great job of defending his Kamaru. Now his legs up high. He's been taken down. He gets back up to his feet. Now Hamzat Chimaev has a body lock on Kamaru Usman. Kamaru Usman is doing a good job of not capitulating the takedown, but he's definitely getting ridden at the moment. But he's doing a good job of not giving up the takedown and continuing to fight it. So he's getting to the cage. It's interesting because both these guys can wrestle, you know. Both these guys can wrestle, obviously. And now he's taking Kamaru's back. Far out. He's taking Kamaru's back. Kamaru's on his belly, facing down, with Hamza starting to land ground and pound with one deep hook in. He's done a good job, Kamaru, again, of lifting his hips up. Both hooks are in now from Hamzat Chimaev. Hamzat Chimaev is landing some ground and pound from the back. He's looking to secure something under the chin. Just even seeing him do this, even if Kamaru Usman turns around and knocks him out later, just seeing him do this to Kamaru is scary. Because Kamaru, no matter how much he is still a monster, dude. And Hamzat has taken his back. He's got both hooks in, and he's just see, these are the positional things. Like, it'd be very hard to do this to Gilbert Burns. Very, very, very hard. And it's a completely different situation here, you know. Now, Kamaru is wearing all the weight of Hamzat. Hamzat is putting all the weight on Kamaru's back, and Kamaru's taking ground and pound as well. Not huge shots. He's doing a good job of defending and kind of moving the balance a little bit so that Chimaev can't just get his shots off. But Chimaev is got great balance himself, you know. So, I mean, he can stay here the whole round. This is not going to be fun for Usman. And this is the other thing, like kind of like with the Volkanovski and Islam fight, although the position wasn't quite as dominant as this, but still, like, it's not like you're only one mistake away from the other guy choking you, you know? Is it under his chin here? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if no, it's not under the chin. Kamaru's doing a good job of defending, but you got a guy on your back, landing ground and pound. You definitely lose the round, even if he wins. Even if he wins position, you know, even if he doesn't get knocked out. Now he's back to his feet. Body triangle by Hamzat. This is a problem. This is going to be a problem. Body triangle standing like this is a big problem. Big problem. They're fighting the hands. He's fighting the hands. The hands are out, though. Now he's in deep. Is Hamzat. Ooh, big slam by Kamaru to get Hamzat off him. Hamzat was nice and high for that choke, and he is able to defend it. Now he's got a wrist tie. He's got Kamaru face down with a body triangle. Body triangle does gas your legs if you're not used to it, and I think that Hamzat is probably used to a bit of grappling. Complete shutout round, a minute and 10 seconds. I don't see Kamaru escaping this properly, you know, like getting actually out of this. Hamzat is still looking for the finish here. He's still looking for chokes. Kamaru's doing a good job of defending this. This is an absolute shutout round for Hamzat. The problem is, even if Kamaru comes back out and wins this, it's a man, this guy's scary at middleweight. You don't see people doing this to Kamaru. Not like this. Not like this. Leon Edwards took his back and won, but it was more of a happenstance kind of situation. Like, Hamzat's just gone out and put it on him this whole round, you know, and taken him down again. Big shots now. Now the ground and pound is getting a little worse. There's 17 seconds to go, and again he takes his back, and he's trying to stretch him out. Kamaru's doing a good job of not like capitulating that, but he is getting absolutely dominated and ground and pounded. 2 seconds to go, 1 second to go, and that's a wrap. Wow. That on, mate, I'm astonished. I'm astonished. I do see a right hand coming from Hamzat. But he was very, very, very smart the way he did that too. Like, he didn't just like it looked like he was going to trade with him. You know what I mean? It looked like he was going to trade with him. Like, he kind of sold that he was going to trade with him, and then boom, he just shot in. This slam that he did, luckily Hamzat took it on the right arm. Like, if he had both his hands in for the choke, I think Hamzat would be dead with that choke, with that slam that Kamaru did. I'm not sure how they score it, Rick James. I'm not sure if that would quite possibly a 10-8. I will answer some of these questions in a second. So we're off again, guys. And it's round 2, 57, 56, 55, 54, 53, and we're off. Hamzat in the southpaw stance, Kamaru in the orthodox stance. He's moving Kamaru back, and this is what Kamaru doesn't want. A lot of movement from Hamzat. I'm looking to see. I hope for his sake he had gone to orthodox. For Hamzat's sake, I'd say to do the level change, because I wonder how if he's slowed down. I wonder how much that took out of him. But he's in the southpaw stance, and Kamaru's in the orthodox stance. The thing is, when you get oh, nice leg kick by Usman. When you get positions the way that Khamzat did, there's no threat to you. Whereas here, Kamaru can catch him. Orthodox to southpaw in Usman being orthodox. Khamzat continuing to change backwards and forwards. Now there's a little level change fake by Usman himself. He's going to throw that right hand. Nice little jab by Usman. Good work by Usman. Front kick by Khamzat. Has Khamzat slowed down? I don't know. How much did that take out of him? Because he fights, he goes hard in that first round. He tries to break you, But Usman's still here. He's not broken. And he's gaining confidence, I would say. Because you don't know how much strength Khamzat was using to control Usman like that, and how much that would have taken out of him. He really bit on that feint, did Khamzat. It's now 3:05 in the second round, and Khamzat hasn't done a thing. He hasn't done anything except bite on feints. So it's very interesting how... Oh, nice front kick by Usman. Khamzat has slowed down immensely. It's interesting to see how... that's the other thing people don't understand. It's how much... yes, you can do that in the first round, but how much did that take out of you? How much isometric contraction were you using to hold Usman, And it looks like it was a lot. And Usman, it would have worn on Usman too. Oh, little exchange there. Khamzat's definitely slowed down, definitely. And Usman's coming forward a little bit. He's throwing a few kicks. Khamzat's in the orthodox and the southpaw stance. Oh, he's biting on these feints. Usman's showing him the single legs. Usman's now switched to southpaw. Khamzat slowed down so much. It's a completely different fighter, first to second round. 1 minute and 53 seconds. Now Usman's pushing him back. He's landing some shots. They're exchanging. Not much. They're just prodding at each other with jabs. But now Usman's doing his thing. He's moving forward slowly. Yeah, he's biting, making him bite on those feints. He's going to throw a big right hand, is Usman, at some point here. There's a right hand from Usman. There's the right hand. And he's moving Khamzat back. Khamzat's shots are coming out laborious. It doesn't look... Throws a right high kick, but there's nothing on it. There's nothing on it anymore. And Usman's making him bite on the feints with 1 minute and 14 seconds to go. Oh, big right hand by Usman. Big right hand by Usman. I hope I don't wake up my fucking kids. Nice right kick by Usman. Khamzat in the southpaw stance. Usman making him bite on those feints, man. Usman's looking really good in this second round. .45 seconds to go. He's in deep on a double leg. Is Khamzat, gets the takedown. Khamzat's looking to reverse with double overhooks, but he's not going to get this. There's 32 seconds to go. Oh, this is in deep, dude. Is he going to guillotine him? Is he going to... because you can choke like this. 17 seconds to go. You can. This is like in Greco-Roman, you can do this. Oh, he got his head out. 5 seconds to go. So he's passed completely. He's in this position now. And he definitely won the first round, right? He definitely won the first round. The second round, he won it again, I would say. There wasn't a lot happening. Kamaru had some really, had the probably better moments, but then Khamzat got the takedown, right? So got the takedown, got side control. There wasn't a lot of time left. He's definitely slowed down, right? He's definitely slowed down. SG says, what's the difference between Russian folk style and American collegiate. Well, the US is usually it's going to be called folk style. It's collegiate wrestling. And what Khamzat wrestled would have been freestyle, not thing. And so freestyle, you can link your hands on the ground and you have different exposures. And on folk style, you can't link your hands on the ground and you get points for escapes and for control. Okay, so we're off again, guys. This third round. Wow. He has slowed down dramatically. And Usman's coming forward to pressure him, and he is. And so there's round 3, 4, 54, 4, 53, 52, 51, 50, 49. Okay, both men in the orthodox stance. I don't know if Khamzat, I think Khamzat as well may have been conserving energy for this third round. But he shot, and that shot was low, and it missed. And now Usman's coming forward. He jabs to the body, kicks the body again. He's looking for that right hand. It is Usman. He's looking for the right hand. Khamzat switches to southpaw, switches back to orthodox. Front kicks down the middle, trying to move Usman back. Usman paws at him from the southpaw stance with a jab. This is an interesting fight, man. It's 4 minutes and 10 seconds to go. It makes him looks at for those single legs, does Usman. This is the thing that I find very interesting with this fight, though. Like, it makes you want to see Usman at middleweight against some of these other guys. 3:52 to go. 3:50 to go. Front kick down the middle by Khamzat. Usman with the right hand. Big right hands, exchanging right hands in the middle of the octagon. Khamzat goes looking for a single leg and a double leg, misses them both. Big right high kick by Usman. Usman falls. Usman throws a jab. Jab by Usman lands on Khamzat. Front kick by Usman. Khamzat slowed down significantly. Inside leg kick by Khamzat. Left high kick by Usman. They exchanging in the middle. Right check hook by Khamzat. Right hand by Usman. 3 minutes and 13 seconds to go. Usman's throwing big shots down the middle. He's not answering now. He's not answering the shots either. Left hand by Usman. Usman with a big left hand. Right hand by Usman. Usman goes looking for a takedown himself. Doesn't get it. Laboriously defended by Khamzat, though. He did stuff it, but he's not countering well. 2 minutes and 47 seconds to go. Khamzat is not looking good, ladies and gentlemen. Inside leg kick by Khamzat. 2 minutes and 37 seconds to go. A nice jab by Usman. He's in deep. Is Khamzat, catches a single leg. He's going to try and move to the back. Is he going to be able to finish his double leg? He does. He does finish the double leg on Kamaru Usman. Kamaru Usman is exhausted. He's on his back himself. And I do think that at 2 minutes and 17 seconds to go, I do think that Khamzat is going to be able to ride this out. He has half guard or a Turk ride, whichever one you want to call it. Kamaru Usman looks exhausted. He's not really bringing the shields and the hips into play. He's flat on his back. You'd want to see him up on that right hip and right shoulder. Right shoulder. But he's flat on his back, and Khamzat has him. He can move to mount in a second, I think. But I think he's going to try and hold him here for as long as possible. And he's squaring him off. He's doing a good job, is Khamzat, of holding Kamaru down at 138 of this round. Wow. He's doing a fantastic job. So this is non-existent half guard. This is basically a Turk ride, a pin from Khamzat. There's a big difference between that and an active half guard. There are no shields from Khamzat. He's got from Kamaru. Khamzat has the head control, has the underhook. He's going to be able to hold him down for the remainder of this round. And he'll win this fight. And I think he wins all 3 rounds. But it begs a question of what this would have looked like for Kamaru with a full camp, and how Kamaru would do against other middleweights with a full camp. And the problem is, even though people look at this and go, he gassed a little bit, he slowed down. I don't know other than like say, oh, he's up. Kamaru's up with 28 seconds to go. Kamaru's going to blast. There's 25 seconds to go. There's 23 seconds to go. Kamaru's in orthodox. Khamzat is in the southpaw stance. Both these guys have slowed down dramatically. Oh, right hand by Usman. 10 seconds to go. They're exchanging jabs. Usman looks at Tidier, throws a right hand and misses. They're exchanging in the pocket. They're exchanging in the pockets with 3 seconds to go. They're fucking hitting each other 1 second to go. And that's a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. They hug it out. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Wow. Look, it was, again, it's one of those things. Kamaru gets his flowers for absolutely taking it on short notice. That's for sure. I don't know how many middleweights, even if he, like, you know, how he gassed like this, I don't know how many middleweights would be able to survive that first round with Khamzat, though. You know what I mean? Because I'm sure he would have used a ton of energy to control Usman, and that wouldn't have helped with the gas. But there's not many, you know, it's one of those like catch-22 situations. Like the way he goes so hard in that first round, he pays for it later in the fight. Absolutely pays for it later in the fight. But he also, I don't see too many people being able to withstand that kind of pressure that he puts on. And then whilst he missed a few takedowns, he still took Kamaru down with relative ease. Yeah, so Rick James says, no one does this to Kamaru. No. Actually, Wet Sox says, yeah, even if he gets knocked out in the next round, he has proved a lot. Yeah, he absolutely has. Both of them are very impressive, and I'd like to see Kamaru with a full camp at middleweight. Like, I really think that he can do some damage there. You know what I mean? I really do think that. Actually, Wet Sox says, watching you do your damnness not to wake up your kids is hilarious. Thank you, mate. Damn says, best commentary you can get. Thank you, sir. And it's free. I'm feeling a bit guilty. Thank you, sir. I really appreciate it. Actually, Wet Sox says, best reactions too. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and share the channel with your friends and hit the notification bell. SG says, are the low double legs diving for the ankles a freestyle? See, I see Gamrot do that as well. People shoot double legs like there's like the conventional way you see, you know, taught, but then there's everything and anything in between with double legs, you know what I mean? Or single legs or whatever. Like wrestling is like, it's like jiu-jitsu. It has a massive, it's vocabulary of how you can do things. So the way he does it is he shoots, grabs a hold of you, and then starts to crawl his way up, you know, into your waist or wherever. So, wow. That was fucking... He definitely slows down. Do you know what I mean? He definitely slows down. But it is a damned if you do, damned if you don't kind of thing. Because I don't see... Leighton J says, need to see Khamzat go 5 rounds out. Absolutely. I don't think too many people can beat him over 3, to be honest with you. Like, there's people that are 5-round fighters and there's people that are 3-round fighters. And this guy's definitely a better 3-round fighter than he is a 5-round fighter. They just gave him his brown belt. I think he's definitely a 3-round fighter just because of how he is, how he fights. And it's very hard to beat that because you're going to lose the first. So now you have to win both. That's what I was saying before about Strickland, right? Over 5 rounds, I don't favor him against Strickland unless he gets it done early. If he doesn't get it done early, Strickland's going to pressure him and pressure him and pressure him and pressure him. Like, even if he beats Strickland's tough, you know, even if he beats a shit out of Strickland for 7 minutes, right? and it starts to really slow down, that's a long time to stay in there with Strickland. Just keeps coming, keeps coming, keeps coming, keeps coming. The way he fights, though, it's also a thing where like that ferocity and that strength and that like overwhelming technique and all of it that he brings in that first round, because he acts like the fight's only going to last 5 minutes, if that. That's very hard to counter too, But if you gassed, you gassed. The thing is that Kamaru has actually very, very good wrestling and grappling, so he was able to make that difficult for Hamza. Hamza had to use a lot of strength there, so I don't know how that will look. I don't, unless he can beat Strickland inside of 5 rounds, like inside of the first 7 minutes. I actually don't. I favor Strickland if it goes past 7. If it goes inside 7, I favor Hamza. It's hard to submit someone like that too, like someone as wily as Strickland in an actual real fight. Sparring. I know the things that people are saying about sparring, but it'll be hard to do that, He was very, very, very impressive, man. Very, very impressive. He did impress me though. Like he did slow down and everything, but he did impress me with how he fought. Wow. SG says Strickland picking apart Israel is still fascinating. Yeah, absolutely. That just the way it was done. And again, like we're talking about Paulo Costa, and I think like would Paulo Costa have been able to defend and survive that first round? I don't know. Do you know what I mean? I really don't know. Because he would have maybe been able to do it once, and use like a ton of strength to defend it. But I also think that would have a use by date on it. Okay, we're going to talk a little bit about Islam and Volkanovski here. So Volkanovski and Makhachev obviously have very different fighting styles, which is reflected in the stats. Volk lands 30 significant strikes per round. That's 3 times higher than Islam's 10. That's a whole lot more significant strikes per round, right? But you got to understand a lot of Islam's strikes are on the ground, and Volkanovski's 30 strikes are usually all done through the standings. So, but still, that's a lot more. That's a lot busier Volkanovski. 19 of these are to the head compared to Islam's 7 head strikes per round. So 19 head strikes from Alex Volkanovski on average. Volkanovski also lands more head and body strikes on average per round from when they are thrown from. From Volkanovski lands 22 strikes from distance per round, 4 times as many as Islam's 5 distance strikes per round. So way more significant strikes are landed by Volkanovski per round. When he's on the ground, he also lands more ground strikes than Islam. Islam has a higher accuracy than Volkanovski for significant strikes, head, body, and leg strikes. So he throws a lot less, but he lands a higher percentage. Whereas Volk has higher accuracy throwing strikes on the feet, Islam has a takedown rate of 62%, almost doubling Volkanovski's. So that's where the stats are a little bit, when you look at stats like that, like, yes, Volkanovski has way more significant strikes per round, way more to the head, to the body, to everywhere, and even on the ground. But Islam's takedown abilities are way higher, and he uses them. But this is definitely something, when you look at that, you have to understand, like, that's why I say to you, I do see paths, very clear paths to victory for Alex as well. And then we have Islam in total for the entire fight. Well, this is their first fight. I'm talking about their first fight here. In total for the entire fight, Volkanovski landed 70 significant strikes to Islam's 57. Bear in mind, some of these strikes, a lot of these strikes were landed, like, whilst 70, like the difference from 57 to 70, a lot of these were landed in the fifth round. And also when Islam had Volkanovski's back, Volkanovski was hitting him like this and landing them, and they were counted as significant strikes, but they're not. I don't think that. So I think that that's probably a little bit skewed. And in total strikes, Volk landed 164 compared to Islam's 95. Not many of these strikes were not considered significant because they were thrown while Islam had taken Alex's back in the fourth round. They each landed a similar number of strikes to the head, with Volkanovski landing 37 to Islam's 36. Volk landed 21 body strikes to Islam's 18. Volkanovski also landed 4 times as many leg strikes, with 12 for the entire fight. In the entire 5 rounds, Islam clocked 457 seconds. That's 7.5 minutes of control time, compared to Volk only having 2.9 minutes, and most of that was in the final round. Islam also scored 4 takedowns, and Alex was not credited with a single takedown for the entire fight. Yeah, man, man, I'm so pumped for this fight. So yeah, it's very, very interesting. Like the how do I say this? The narrative that Volkanovski does, even when you look at the strikes, right? Volkanovski landed a way more significant strikes, but they both landed on the feet. Like it could be anyone's fight. I really do think that. So I don't know what to say on that. The reality filter says if Hamzat didn't get the takedown in the third, Usman was going to finish him. Yeah, but he did. You know what I mean? The reality filter says the gas tank is very questionable. Yeah, I do think that, but I also, like I said, I think that not many people can survive that first round regardless. The reality filter says Hamzat is getting a title shot at 185 without beating a single ranked 185, but that shows the rankings are a joke and social media is king in the UFC, WWE. Oliver Ekman says, tried to contain it, Fab. Oh, I will. Yeah, no, I think, I don't think he beats Sean, dude. I don't think he beats Sean unless he can get it done early. I do not think he beats Sean over 5 rounds. I don't think he does that. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens moving forward, because I don't see him beating Sean, and I don't see him beating many people in 5-round fights that are up in their upper echelon. You know, I don't see it. Not over 5 rounds. Over 3 rounds, yes, because more or less you can almost guarantee he's going to win the first. I'll be back in 1 sec. Somebody says Vittori smashes him. The reality filter says that. Oliver Ekman says he loves Vittori. I don't know that Vittori finishes him, to be honest with you. I don't think so, because Vittori's not a big puncher. He's not a big puncher. He's not like a super powerful guy. He is tidy. He's got a good chin, and he bases a lot of stuff on his own wrestling, and he's not going to be able to out-wrestle Hamzat. And I don't think that his striking is at that level. So, yeah, I don't think so. So here comes Volkanovski looking pumped as ever. Man, I'm so anxious. Volkanovski's super pumped. I'm fucking pumped. I'm pumped. The reality filter says Hamzat does not deserve a title shot after beating Usman, but that's how it works, man. You know what I mean? Like, we're past thinking the rankings or this or that or whatever. I think the thing, and I don't think he beats Sean, like I said to you, unless he gets Sean out of there early. Volkanovski looking pumped as always. I thought he was going to barge over the ref or whoever that guy is, the security. Man, the nerves would be so. Ugh. Right hand into shift left hook and bang, he's down, says the reality filter. Could be, man. Could be. Could be. Islam will be walking out with that confused look on his face that he always has. You gotta love him, eh? With his confused look. He's a serious cat, this Islam. I like him. Always been a fan. Oliver Ekman says, I haven't been this excited in a while. Yeah, man. It's got the blood pumping for sure, eh? Damn says, do you think the cheat code is out on Izzy now that Sean dominated him? Is Izzy vulnerable to all the top middleweights now? No, because you still have to be able to apply it. Like, you still have to be able to pressure him. You know, people didn't think, like, everyone was like, no, this is, you can't, if you lost it, but you have to pressure him. You have to go forward. But not everyone has a stand up to be able to do it. Not everyone has the discipline to be able to do it. Not everyone has the cardio to be able to do it. Israel's still very good. Israel could have at any point as well caught Sean, and then everyone would be like, oh, you fuck Sean shit. Sean, it's stupid. That's what would have happened if Israel had just caught Sean, man. Just thrown a kick and Sean didn't quite see it and got caught on top of the head or something and dropped. So these are real things, I don't think that at all, no. How the loss might have affected Israel is different, though. The reality filter says Usman is a great fighter, but 36 well past his prime, and he never had a win at 185. Coach, that's not a confused look. That's called cousin love. How dare you, sir? How dare you? And he's up. Here is Makhachev. Both really impressive. I like them because there's also like they go hard, but there's good sportsmanship between them, and they both know what it is. You know what I mean? I prefer that, to be honest with you, than the fake stupid beef. I can do well without the beef, to be honest with you. I like watching the fight. You know what I mean? I like that. Okay, so there's not much in the difference in reach, but the height is significant. 5'10" to 5'6" is probably even taller than 5'10" Islam, I'd say. Sorry about my shaky voice, because I have to keep my voice down to not wake up my kids, whilst at the same time dealing with adrenaline and anxiety. Yeah, so in answer to your question from before, like, nah, not everyone can do that. You know, man, I honestly have this feeling that Volkanovski is going to catch him. I really do think that. The reality filter, we need to bring that back, man. We need to bring that back. We need to be nice to Islam. Now, I just got a feeling that Alex is going to catch him. It's not based on stats. It's not based on anything other than I just think he's going to catch him. I just think he's a little nugget that hits super hard, and I'm biased, and I'm going for Alex. That's the. I think I just feel that he will catch him. How much do I think Islam weighs right now in kilograms? 78, yeah, 78, 79, so around 170, yeah. 80 kilograms maybe even, you know. But Alex wouldn't be far off it either. Alex is a big guy, dude, like a big little guy. Yeah, but they're always basically the next division up. Give me 1 second, guys. I have to get my daughter. Somehow, by some miracle, she's still asleep. It was my son. The reality filter says he looks huge. Man, yeah, he's a big boy, man. He's a big boy. But Alex is, dude, I cannot even begin to explain to you. Alex is so strong, dude. So physically strong. So yeah, no, Alex is so physically strong, and he's such an awkward kind of guy to fight. That's a big thing. That's different here. I don't know. This fight's going to be crazy, man. I kind of hate when I know people that are fighting, because the nerves get to me, man. The nerves get to me. You go out there. Like, look at Alex, man. Alex is a big dude. Like, if you look at his torso, how big and thick it is. Joseph says, I have that sneaking suspicion that the Volk might pull this off. I do think Volk might catch him, dude. I do think that. And we're about to start, guys. We're about to start. They're going to touch gloves. They touch gloves, and we're off. 57, 56, 55, 54, 53. We're off. Islam in the southpaw stance goes looking for a body kick. Volkanovski in the orthodox stance. Islam skirting, controlling more the center of the octagon, and Volkanovski's more skirting the peripheries. Volkanovski's still looking very good, feinting with his right hand, inside left kick by Islam. Goes looking for a leg kick, does Islam. Volkanovski feints with the right hand. Volkanovski pouring at the jab. with each other. There's a tip from Islam. Look for a lot of these tips from Islam. Islam doing a good job of trying to get his foot outside of Volkanovski's lead foot. Volkanovski jabbing and feinting. Nice kick by Islam to keep Volkanovski off him. Volkanovski looks like a little spring, like he's going to just coil and come forward at any second now, switch stepping and throwing that right hand. But Islam's got his hands up nice and tidy. Nice feint by Volkanovski, goes looking for a left high kick, does Islam, then follows by a teep. Volkanovski feints with the right hand. Islam's in deep on a double leg, then comes up into a body lock. Volkanovski pushing his bum back as Islam pushes him into the cage. Islam does a good job of holding with the body lock against the cage, over unders. He's got underhooks, does Islam. Volkanovski's trying to pummel in. Volkanovski now with the double underhooks. Pushes Islam into the cage. He's got head control, does Volkanovski. This is a very, very tough position to be in against a little monster like Volkanovski. Volkanovski with some left uppercuts, throws a little knee in there. Islam has an overhook. Volkanovski is looking to control and frame with the elbows. He's looking for a takedown himself, is Volkanovski. Look for Volkanovski to break and throw bombs in a second. Islam with little knees up the middle. He's going to look for an Uchimata throw here, is Islam. But Alex doing a good job. Knees up the middle from Islam. A little knee to the body by Islam, and he pushes Alex up against the cage again. Alex goes looking, knee up the middle by Islam. Volkanovski's looking, he's doing a great job, Volkanovski, keeping his head up in the tie clinch. Goes looking for a single leg, does Alex. They're spending a lot of time here in the clinch. Alex breaks off. Oh, my God, this is horrible. Islam goes with a body kick again. Oh, my God. Islam throws a left hand down the middle. Nothing doing that. Volkanovski, oh, my God. This is horrible. Volkanovski skirting the peripheries of the octagon. Did a good job thus far in nullifying the takedown of Islam. Islam once again feints, goes, throws a... Oh, Alex is hurt! Alex is hurt! Alex is down. Islam is landing huge shots to the head of Volkanovski. He stops Volkanovski. Left high kick. Islam's a fucking monster. Islam almost made me leave my wife and kids by screaming. But he is a monster. Fucking hell. Volkanovski, balls the size of church bells, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. He did a fantastic job, Islam. Like a really, really, really good job. I have to give him credit. And he got it done so early too. Like, it wasn't like, actually, I would have picked him to finish Volkanovski, like I said, later in the fight. I thought Volkanovski would catch him early. But it was not close like that. You know what I mean? Islam's a monster, like an absolute monster. Yes, yeah, Joseph Islam's been sending that high kick early for sure. And you just see the difference even in the strength in this fight. Yeah, actually, Wet Sox, you're right. He did, he threw some big shots. He got Volkanovski very good. Yeah, so yeah, the difference in the hydration and all that, it looks massive. And even him just kind of pushing Volkanovski up against the cage. Volkanovski's a monster himself, but yeah. Wow. Islam, mate, he is what he is. You know what I mean? Absolutely is what he is. What a kick. What a massive kick. I'm going to do a reaction to this, a reaction show that will be interactive, obviously. Joseph says, Coach, do you think there will be a trilogy? I don't see any reason for there to be a trilogy. I don't really see it because Islam has put his belt on the line twice. Like, the fucking balls on this guy. You know what I mean? That's not a mandatory challenge either. You know, like, it's like this guy, there's nothing to win for him. And so there's no reason. Like, one fight here, I think he won clearly 3 rounds to 2. And Volkanovski then got finished in the second fight. Well, granted, it was on 10 days' notice, but still got finished. Yeah. So yeah, no, Islam, mate. Islam looked big, fit, ready to go in this fight. You know, join me. I'm going to do a very, very soon after this. I'm going to do just a reaction video just to see what about this card. But that was incredible performance by Islam. That was really, 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 really impressive, and it was still within the time, like, because if he had worn Volkanovski down, but the way he used I said this, and you can go back and look at the thing. I said I feel like Volkanovski thing now, but if you look at the breakdown, I did say you're gonna see a lot of left kicks. You're gonna see kicks to the body, teeps to the body, front kicks to the body to keep him off. I said all of this, and he's gonna throw that left high kick to either catch him or keep that right hand at home, and he fucking did it. He did it perfectly, and he did it well. So that was very fantastic, man. I'm me personally, like, I'm bummed for Alex. I'm really, really bummed for Alex, but I'm also a fan of Islam, you know, and you can't, like, he copped a lot of flack, I think, for the last fight, which was not warranted, I believe. You know what I mean? It was a close fight, but I'm a huge fan of Islam as well. But of course I'm going for Alex, dude. Of course I am. Yeah. What a kick. Yeah. Joseph says, I really hope Volk takes some time off before defending his belt. No, man, it was, yeah. Let's talk about all of that in the reaction video that's coming up, guys. So thank you very much for joining me. Keep your channel ready with a notification bell, because I'm going to be back on very, very, very soon. All right. So thank you very much, guys, and I'll be on here very, very soon. Take care.